Today we're going to discuss being a humble observer. Take the first step. That's the only way. One of the beautiful gifts for me in doing this program is getting to connect with some of you who are watching the videos through your emails, and actually now a lot of people are becoming fans on Facebook, friends on Facebook and Twitter. And recently, there's a young lady named Stephanie from the United Kingdom who is studying to become a counselor and has been chatting with me regarding some of the discoveries she's making in her own journey of self-awareness. And we were talking about judgments, how when you're not paying attention to yourself, when you're not aware, it's so easy to blame everybody else for what's going on, and also to blame yourself. And that when you begin to truly look inside, you become the observer. And I like to use the term being a humble observer, stepping back and being aware of what's going on with other people, what's going on with yourself, and just looking at it, not judging it. So many of us have been taught about things being right or wrong, good or bad. And we've been taught to place judgment on everything. We have judgments based on our past experiences. When X happened in the past, Y was the result. So I'm going to judge that experience as good or bad. Next time that it comes up or something similar, I bring that judgment directly to it. Or we create judgments on future occurrences without even knowing what's going on. We make presumptions or hallucinations of what we think the outcome is going to be. Being a humble observer is being able to step back and say, in reality, there is no good or bad. There is no right or wrong. That's a judgment that we've placed on an experience. When something happens, it's not what happens that matters, it's what we do with it. It's how we apply that to our lives. What do we do in that moment as we move forward? Personal experiences for me are numerous. Loss of my leg. People can judge that as being a bad thing. I can't tell you how often people tell me they're sorry that I lost my leg and I had all these things happen. And although I appreciate their empathy, there's nothing for them to feel sorry about, because what was, if I was judging it, a traumatic experience, was one of the greatest gifts in my life. But I'm also placing a judgment when I say that it's the greatest gift. It is what it was. It was an experience. Life, in my belief, is about having new experiences. Labeling them, judging them, prevents us from fully embracing what they are. If you judge someone based on the way that they look, or the way that they speak, or something about them that you haven't even spoken to them before, are you robbing yourself from a relationship that you could have? Judgments about other people when you're in your car, somebody you've never met before cuts you off, and you make a judgment and you start yelling and screaming and calling them, won't even say the word on the tape here. But let me ask you a question. Have you ever cut somebody else off in your car? And was it because you were a bad person, or that you weren't considerate? Maybe it was you just didn't see them. Maybe it was that you were swerving to miss a child that was stepping out onto the street. We're so full of judgments about everything, and it controls our life. We create whole scenarios based around these judgments. When we learn to become the humble observer, we step back and we acknowledge that we don't know what is happening in that other person's life. We don't know why they're yelling and screaming. They could have just lost the most important person to them. A family member may have passed away, and this is the way that they're reacting. Do I need to judge them, or do I need to observe, step back, take myself out of the picture, and just be present with what's happening in the moment? Becoming a humble observer allows you to open yourself to possibilities. You know, there's the experiences with yourself. When you feel anger coming up, you can go with the anger, Or you can judge yourself, I know how to control this, I shouldn't let this bother me. Or you can just step back inside of yourself and go, isn't that interesting? Surprising the way that I chose to react to that situation. It keeps you at peace, it keeps you centered. So the exercise that I'd like to offer you for this week in being a humble observer is first to become aware of how often you are judging other people, other situations. And judgment meaning you're choosing to label it as good or bad, right or wrong. You're choosing to create a story about this other person or this other situation that you really have no facts for. But it's what you're creating so you can feel comfortable with your understanding of it. The second part of the exercise is as you become more aware that you're doing this, just experiment with detaching yourself and stepping back and saying, one, as an example, the person that may be cutting you off on the highway, rather than judging them, say, you know what? I've done that before. Rather than getting upset, let me just forgive them for doing it because they probably didn't mean to do it the same way that I didn't mean to do it when I did it. And in doing so, you're actually forgiving them, but also forgiving yourself. I want to refer you back to a couple of other videos we've done in the series on how to forgive others and also on self-forgiveness, because this applies in letting go of the judgment and being that humble observer. The other part is when you notice you judging yourself, making yourself wrong, wanting to punish yourself, wanting to feel guilty about things. Again, step back, become the observer and say, what was the trigger that set me off? What wasn't I doing that allowed me to come out of a place of peacefulness? Becoming that humble observer will teach you so much about yourself, so much about other people, and it will lead to an amazing growth for yourself. So I look forward to your feedback. I look forward to your comments. I look forward to hearing what you learn about yourself. Take care, and we'll connect again soon. For a transcription of the video you just watched, more videos, and related articles, visit yourdailylifecoach.com. To comment on this video, select Discussion Forums on any page of our website.